Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports.
Welcome, everybody, to FanStream Sports, powered by DSP Media. This is the Fighting Irish Daily Blitz, and I'm your host, Rob Fitoff, also known as RPT. You can find me on Twitter at PFitoff. So for episode 60 this week, we're going to do a recap of men's basketball. Two hard-fought games. Could have went either way, but long story short, same shit, different day. I can't polish this turd any way more positive. Sorry to be that bluntly, but it is what it is. And with this season, this is the best I can do to explain what happened this week. So first game, two games. We have one at Duke on Tuesday night, at Virginia this Saturday. I'm filming as of Saturday. Tuesday at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Coach Krzyzewski, former coach for Duke, they called him Coach K, in the house. I believe that was because that would be Coach Bray's last game at Duke. And Coach Bray was an assistant for Coach K from 87 to 95. He was part of the 91-92 back-to-back national titles, those great teams with Christian Laettner, Bobby Hurley, Grant Hill. He was part of 6 Final Fours with Coach K, 2 national titles, 2 runners-up. Sorry for tongue-tied there. And once he was an assistant with Coach K, he left to be Delaware's head coach, was very successful there. And then he came to Notre Dame in 2000, and he's been our coach for the past 23 years. And by far, he's the most successful assistant coach, coaching disciple, or the coaching tree of Coach K of all coaches, I would say. I know Chris Collins at Northwestern right now, he's had a pretty good year, but by far, Coach Bray has been the most successful coach from the Coach K tree. So Notre Dame came in at 10-15, 2-12 in the ACC. I know that sounds awful. It is. Duke, this is not one of the best Duke teams I've seen. They're not even ranked right now. They are 17-8, 8-6 in the ACC. They led by as much as 14 points in the game. We battled back really hard. Dane Goodwin played his ass off, had 25 points off the bench. I don't know why that is. I know Coach Bray's trying to find anything he can to get a spark going, so maybe that's why he is coming off the bench. 25 points for Dane Goodwin. Ben Allen Lubin, freshman, who's starting now, 10.6 rebounds. He's playing really well lately. However, Duke hits a late three. I believe we were only down by 1. They hit a late 3. You know, if he misses, we go down. We could hit the game winner. That doesn't happen. We end up losing 68-64. Coach Bray, his last game at Duke, Cameron Indoor Stadium. As I said before, Duke's not the greatest team. However, to win at Cameron Indoor would have been, a very positive win for this, shitty season we've been having. But we fall to 10-16, 2-13 in the ACC. And I'll get to that later. Let's go to Virginia today. Virginia, number 1 in the ACC right now. They come in at 20-4, 12-3, ranked number 7 nationally. We come in 10-16, 2-13 in the ACC. Only Louisville has a worse record in the ACC right now. We battle again today. Virginia's up by as much as 9 points. It's at Virginia, one of the toughest places to play, one of the best defensive teams in the nation. We end up, it's 57-55. I'm sorry, let's take a step back. 57-54. We have a chance to, we're going down there for the last second shot. And the thing is, a lot of coaches will not take a chance, especially if it's down to less than 10 seconds, which it was. And Coach Bennett likes that philosophy too, where you're just going to foul them so you don't have to shoot the three-pointer for a chance to tie the game. They foul Trey Wirtz. Trey Wirtz hits the first free throw. Coach Bray calls a timeout for him to intentionally miss the free throw. And then if we can just, tap it out for a game-winning three-pointer. Trey Wirtz does a perfect miss where it clanks off the rim. We end up having it ricochet. It bounces right back to Dane Goodwin. He has a wide open shot for a 3-pointer. If he hits it at the buzzer, we win the game. If not, we lose 57-54. As I mentioned earlier, the ball just doesn't bounce our way. Again, we had our chance, lose 57-55, fall to 10-17, 2-14 in the ACC. Only Louisville is worse at 1-14 in the ACC. And if they win this weekend, I don't know who they play. It's either today or tomorrow. If they win that game, we're tied for last place. Nate Lashevsky, 18 points, 8 rebounds. Dane Goodwin, 12 points off the bench. He's still coming off the bench as Venon Lubin is starting. He didn't have a really good game today. He didn't even, it doesn't even look like he scored. Marcus Heyman had 10 points. JJ Starling did not score again today. And as I mentioned last week, who knows who the new coach is going to be, but it's not looking like he's going to enter the NBA draft. The way he's ending the season, that is, he's been struggling big time. He had a decent game at Duke, I believe. I think he made about 10 points at Duke. Don't quote me on that, but from what I remember watching that game, his game was solid there. But the way he's ending the season, don't be so sure he's going to enter the NBA draft. And if he doesn't, then the thing is, does he stay at Notre Dame or enter the transfer portal? I think that comes down to who's the new coach. So we will see on that. Next action for Notre Dame this Wednesday at home against North Carolina, 9 p.m. ESPN. And then next Saturday at Wake Forest, 7 p.m. on the ACC network. So here's sort of I don't want to call it the big news, but some surprising news. It was reported either Tuesday or Wednesday. Yes, Mike Brey is stepping down to retire at Notre Dame, but he's not retiring as a basketball coach. It was made known that he's possibly looking for another job after he steps down at Notre Dame. So whether that's a smaller school, whether it's high school, who knows? But he is not retiring from basketball. That can mean a lot of things. As I said before, is he going back into college? Is it going to be a smaller school? Is it going to be at the NAIA level, Division II, Division III, or high school, or, coaching Saturday mornings, 6th, 7th grade kids? I don't know, but we shall see what happens there. But after this week with the whole coaching debacle, with us not getting Andy Ludwig because we wouldn't buy him out, and I know Jack Swarbrick said he didn't accept the job. I'm not buying that email that he sent out to donors and a lot of Notre Dame graduates, a lot of former Notre Dame players that are pissed off big time. I may have a podcast on that eventually. I just want to see if we get an O-line coach sooner than later to analyze both the new offensive coordinator hire, which is Jared Parker, and but don't believe what he's saying there. That's a crock of what, and it's a work of fiction. It could be on the New York Times bestseller list. The email he sent out, I believe it was Thursday. He's shoveling more shit now, trying to get out of what that total debacle for the offensive coordinator hire. But what I'm trying to get at, as I go on off that tangent, God knows who they hire for Mike Brey's assistant. If they're so cheap not to get a quality offensive coordinator, and basketball is second fiddle to football, I think we can at least agree to that with Jack Swarbrick, the athletic director. I know I'm being a little bit facetious right now and a smart ass, but God knows, does he go to the high school level, if not the junior high level, to hire a new head basketball coach on the men's side? I mean, what's happened with the with the football hires lately for the assistant coaches, I mean, he's just being cheap. I mean, I can't put it I can't sugarcoat it anymore. He's being absolutely cheap, and some other individuals in the administration who I know we kind of know who those names are. Ron Paulus. I cannot tell you enough. It's just being cheap right now. And if you're going to be cheap for the football team, God knows what they're going to do with the basketball hire to succeed Mike Brey. And I said before, I'm saying it jokingly. Is it going to be on the high school level, junior high? God knows. It wouldn't surprise me after what's gone down the last 2 weeks, and especially this week, and that work of fiction from that email that was sent out saying, "Oh no, he didn't. He did not accept the job." Andy Ludwig. It's because of the buyout, and then as I mentioned, I will probably have a podcast on this before, but if I forget, he had the audacity to say, oh, by the way, if you want to contribute to the Newt Rockne Foundation, which is where they raise money for athletics and stuff like that, you're saying the buyout was no obstacle at all. He just did not want to take the job. And that money's not an option at Notre Dame, but then you're asking for donations in your email. I know us fans are pissed off right now, but it's well known that alumni, former players are just besides themselves right now, more or less wanting to take a sledgehammer to their skull, because this has been just this whole process has been a disaster. And I'm all for Jared. I want to support Jared Parker, especially Marcus Freeman right now, because the guy's working his tail off, but he's not getting the support from the administration to make this team the best they can be. When they preach excellence, the administration, that is, they should give all the tools necessary to all athletics to strive for that excellence as well, to give them the tools they need. So enough on my tangent right now. I will have a podcast on that. It may be not as soon as I thought, but I want to see who we hire for the offensive line coach. So sorry to get off on that tangent, but I needed to set that up to say for Coach Bray's next hire, or to replace Coach Bray. Nothing's going to shock me right now if they go to a junior high level coach because of how they botched the offensive coordinator hire. So thank you so much for joining me for episode 30. And as always, go Irish.